Hey wrestling fans, welcome to another episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic for Monday, August 22nd, 2016, episode 158. As always, I am your host, Lance Brock, and I want to start off today by just going over a few things from Friday night's Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. Shibata defeated Silas Young. Okada defeated Dalton Castle. It was Hangman Page defeating Jay Briscoe in a no-holds-barred match. And in the main event of the pay-per-view, it was Adam Cole ending the historic Ring of Honor World title reign of Jay Lethal. Adam Cole, the new Ring of Honor World Champion, representing the Bullet Club. And I suggest if you did not see Death Before Dishonor, you check out the replay. Now on to Saturday night. It was time for NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2, live from Brooklyn. The commentators on the show were Tom Phillips and Corey Graves. Our opening contest, No Way Jose taking on Austin Aries, and Aries gets the win via submission with the Last Chancery. Billie Kay versus the debuting Ember Moon, formerly known as Athena. Very good match, I thought. Impressive debut here. And Moon picks up the win with a great finish from the top rope with what looked like a twisting, spinning stunner. Very impressive to pick up the win against Billie Kay. Next up, glorious Bobby Roode, who made an entrance coming out of some kind of box or something. I didn't really care for it that much. I know a lot of people really liked it, but I didn't like it that much. And he took on Andrade Cien Almas. And before I get to the result of that match, I just want to apologize real quick. The other day when I recapped the episode of NXT, I accidentally called him La Sombra, was thinking of his CMLL name, and Roode gets the win here. And also, Roode is over. Almas is not, though. He was one of, I think, the only guy on the whole Takeover show who was actually booed by the Brooklyn crowd. And actually, maybe it would have been better if they did leave him as La Sombra and keep his mask on. But like I said, Bobby Roode victorious in his NXT in-ring debut. And next up is the match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa taking on the Revival. The Revival retain. And next up, I just want to say first, I have two picks for match of the night on this show. And this next one is one of them. Bayley versus Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship. I thought this was a very good match. It is Asuka kicking Bayley to retain the championship. Very good match, like I said. And then at the end, there is a thank you Bayley chant. And then Bayley is emotional. She goes out to the floor, hugs Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks in the front row, even goes over and hugs Charlotte and hugs her mom, and then goes over and hugs her number one fan, Izzy, who was also in the front row. And now it is time for the main event of the evening and my other pick for match of the night, Samoa Joe taking on Shinsuke Nakamura for the NXT Championship. Great match here. I love this match. Samoa Joe was great, but it was Nakamura becoming the new NXT champion with 2 Kinshasas. And I really liked how Tom Phillips and Corey Graves were really putting over that Joe may have had a broken jaw after the first kick to the face. Like I said, this main event was just great. Nakamura and Joe were great together in this one. New champion. Curious now to see how long of a reign Nakamura is going to have with the championship. And also, if this means now that maybe soon Joe will be called up to the main roster, either Raw or SmackDown Live. We'll just have to wait and see. So that was NXT TakeOver. It was a great show in my opinion. I don't think there's ever been a bad TakeOver, but I would put this one right up there on top of the list as one of the best, with TakeOver Dallas and last year's TakeOver Brooklyn. And also, Friday night was the Legends with JBL, where he interviewed Sting on the WWE Network. I thought it was good. A lot of the things he said are things people know already, things he's talked about on different DVDs and whatever. But it was still very good. And he talked about the match at last year's Night of Champions with the injury. He said it was all his fault. Seth Rollins wasn't to blame at all. And they did mention TNA during the interview. So if you have not had a chance to check out Legends with JBL with Sting, I suggest you go on demand on the WWE Network and watch that. And this is not the only podcast of the day. I'll be back in just a little bit to do another one, recapping last night's SummerSlam pay-per-view. But I wanted to do a separate one for Death Before Dishonor and TakeOver, and then do SummerSlam on a separate podcast. But I'll be back in just a little bit. But until then, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.